Lesson 6, Unit 5, Information Access and Record Keeping. A crucial aspect of information management for any development organization involves access to information. A project should consider the following factors. What safeguards are needed to limit access to staff with proper authority to access the information? How does the project team access the information they need? What must happen when a staff member changes position or leaves the project? How can the project guarantee protection of records that are deemed confidential? What procedures should be established to ensure compliance with local government legal requirements? The project manager must decide what types of project information will have limited access. Access might be limited because of legal requirements or internal requirements. For example, a project may not want anyone other than management staff to have access to monthly financial reports until the finance unit has reconciled and reviewed the reports. Disclosure is not the issue, but rather the prevention of unnecessary confusion that could be caused by access to information that has not been approved for release. Once a project manager knows what information should be classified as having limited access and the staff that must have access to the restricted information, the project manager can determine what kind of limitations are appropriate to the various categories of information. Access can be limited by information physical location or by some other types of control access measures. For example, classified beneficiary information may be stored in a locked file cabinet in a room that has limited access, or the information may be recorded on a computer that has a password security. Whatever methods are used to limit access, authorized staff must be given the tools necessary to gain access. Ensuring access may be as simple as providing keys to a room or file cabinet or assigning passwords and levels for computer access. When a staff member moves from one position to another, or when a staff member leaves the employment of the project, security changes may be necessary. For example, security codes may be changed, or the staff member's computer password may be deleted. Project staff should be trained to know what information is private and how to handle requests for all information, whether confidential or not. An integral but frequent forgotten component of an information management plan is the maintenance of historical records. Historical information project is generally classified into two categories. Records the project is required to maintain based on the donor or the local government requirements. Records the project is not legally required to maintain but have a programmatic significance for development organizations. Each project must make its own decision about what records have programmatic significance and for how long they maintain such records. For example, a project may make multiple copies of some documents to allow for easy access to or wide distribution of information. Generally, the original document should be retained for the required period, but copies can be destroyed at the project's discretion. After the project has specified the contents and location of the records that must be maintained due to legal requirements, it should be easier to specify the other types of records that should be retained for programmatic purposes. Incorporating historical records management into the information management plan enables a project to know what record it has and where they are located. Properly identify and store records that must be legally maintained either permanently or for a specified period of time, and know when it can legally destroy records to minimize record storage issues. All information systems require strong security measures to protect it from unauthorized access, human error, or system failures. The project manager should implement information security protocols to reduce the risk to the project and the organization. A sound information security has three objectives. Confidentiality. It means information is not disclosed to unauthorized individuals, entities, and processes. Integrity means maintaining accuracy and completeness of data. This means data cannot be edited in an unauthorized way. And availability. It means information must be available when needed. Information security also includes policies and procedures for passwords, backups, updates, and training. Passwords means that all users, including the system administrator, should follow these policies and other procedures to safeguard the access to the systems. The backups. Project files can be lost in a number of ways, from human error to failures in hardware. The team should implement a simple process to create regular backups of all digital information. Updates. Regular updates protect the system from unauthorized access. Not only the PMI should be updated, but the operating system of the computers used by the team to access the system as well. Training. Training to team members with advice on policies, password setups, verification process, and follow-ups to ensure team members are implementing the best practices for information security. Another element of information security is to conduct an information audit. Information audits are used to evaluate the project's ability to protect its information assets. These audits can be done by external consultants who will identify weaknesses in the security of the system and recommend solutions. The objective of this audit are to improve the accuracy, relevance, security, and timeliness of the recorded information. No matter how good information security is, there will always be a chance that a disastrous event occurs that information is lost. The project should have a disaster recovery plan designed to return the project to a state of normality after the occurrence of a disastrous event. The disaster recovery plan should contain the following elements the team can execute in case of a disaster: a risk assessment to identify possible events and their impact, establish priorities for reestablishing the system or systems, process to restore the system from backups, including the replacement of hardware, process to test the system, a practice drill to test the plan and the recovery of the data and the system, a communications plan to inform stakeholders about the recovery process, and a budget reserve to cover the cost of the recovery process.